Let's recap the week, shall we? Hello and welcome back to another video. I'm your beautiful host, Young Buffett, back with another CLOV video. If you are new here, you know what we do? We are finding the most talked about stocks on Reddit. We are picking and choosing momentum stocks, stocks that are subject to short squeezes, stocks that are just heavily manipulated, stocks like Clover Health, stocks like AMC. I think I want to get into GME. I don't know. Let's find out. If you guys have any other suggestions on other videos and other stocks that we should get into, let me know. But for now, we are babysitting our baby CLOV that is down 27.88% since we bought it. If you like content like that, what I'm trying to do is show the best ways to scale in and hopefully exit profitably and document the journey every step of the way. We take a look at public sentiment. We take a look at what people are talking about, where people are putting their money, where the overall markets are moving. We take a look at dark pool data. We take a look at Reddit. We take a look at the stock price movement intraday. We take a look at options. There are a lot of things that we cover here, and I'm 100% open to feedback. So if you guys have any questions, if you guys have any suggestions or anything, definitely leave it down below in the comments. Now that we got that really fun intro out of the way, let's take a look at what people are talking about. Overall, SPY. It's just getting old at this time. Everybody's talking about SPY. SPY has just been going up and down. It's the definition of volatility. So you know, it makes sense that it's number one on the list. Number two on the list, Alibaba has just been getting wrecked from a bunch of different China drama that's going on, a lot of different regulation that's going on. Overall public sentiment is about 64% positive sentiment. If it was up to me, it would be 100% negative sentiment. I am staying as far away from China stocks as possible until all of that digests, and then we can see if we want to scale into those or not. GameStop, number 3. They had a fantastic day today. Tesla, number 4. AMC, number 5. NVIDIA, number 6 most talked about stock. Then we got Clover Health. So overall public sentiment for Clover Health, about 67% positive sentiment. Nearby words including moon, wish, buy, up, like, soon, bought, more, options, puts, calm, baby, next, stock, why. So as always, people are talking about it. People all over Wall Street Bets, Wall Street Bets New, Wall Street Bets Elite, stock market, investing, SPACs, options, and day trading subreddits. People are talking about it. Now, why is that important? Because I want to see, does that have an effect on the price? Taking a look at Swaggy stocks, this tracks Wall Street Bets public sentiment. So the other ones tracked other subreddits. This one only tracks Wall Street Bets. Tesla, Baba, Wish, Microsoft, NVIDIA, Amazon, Clover. So we're moving up on the list Wall Street Bets wise. Now what I want to see is this pretty chart right here. The beige one is the stock price. The blue line is the comment volume. Then you got positive and negative sentiment in green and red. The stock price plummeted yesterday, and so did the comment volume. So it's not necessarily if the stock price goes down, comment volume goes up, as we've seen in previous dips and rises in this chart. But stock price is kind of leveling out, working its way back up. We're currently sitting at the 768 mark, but comment volume is still staying low. In my 30 or 40 videos that I've made on this thing so far, what we've noticed is watch the stock price go up. If this thing goes back to 8, then the comment volume should follow as well. The idea here is if a lot of people are talking about it, it gains a lot of momentum. And when it gains a lot of momentum, it kind of positions it for some sort of short squeeze scenario. Another interesting thing that we've been looking at is Max Pain. Now, when we first looked at Max Pain this week, it was 9. And then halfway through the week, or actually yesterday on Thursday, it changed to 8.5. Quick recap, if you don't know what max pain is the strike price that the stock needs to be at by the end of the week or the expiration of the options contracts to cause the maximum amount of pain. That's what we're looking for here. So market makers, when they sell you calls, they don't want it to be in the money, obviously. So they want all of these contracts, all of these calls to expire out of the money. When it expires out of the money, they collect your premium and you lose. For example, we had the $10 call that we bought a couple weeks ago. It expired today. $0. We paid about $70 for it. So we lost $70, and whoever sold us that call made $70. And that hurts me, and that's why it's called maximum pain. So it goes the same way with puts. They don't want the stock price to be zero because people who bought puts would then win. So the best balance to cause the most damage was 9. Then it became 8.5, and we closed at 775. So mission accomplished for the market makers. It looks like they did lose some money on the put side, whoever sold the 7.5s or the 7s and stuff, or the 8s. So the people who sold these puts, the 8s, the 9s, the 10s, they did lose. But anybody who sold the 7.5s, the 7, 6.5, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2.5s, they walk away with that premium. So what I wanted to track, and this is the first week we've been tracking it, is to see where the stock price will close in conjunction to the max pain. The max pain being 8.5, we obviously closed below that. I'm very curious to see how next week plays out. Next week's maximum pain is $8. Taking a look at the options chain, next week, $8 is the maximum pain. So if CLOV closes at 8, or maybe even where it is right now, it would cause all of these calls to expire worthless. Same with the puts. And there is quite a lot of calls and puts. For example, 13,283 volume on the $8 call for next week happened today. So a lot of volume. It does set you up for an interesting, not short squeeze, gamma squeeze scenario. So I guess we shall see where the stock price closes in conjunction to the max pain for next week. Jumping over to dark pools, hasn't changed much. Let me refresh just to confirm. CLOV. Yep. Hasn't changed much. So the net short volume still remains at negative 3.5 million. The net short volume in dollars is negative 27 million. There is still a lot of dark pool activity going on, but like I say in all my other videos, we do not have a lifeguard at this dark pool. So we have no idea what's going on. There's no lights being shined on anything. So we don't know where they're buying it, and we don't know where they're selling it. So I guess we just got to wait and see how it all plays out. There is just a lot of manipulation going on. Speaking of manipulation, I saw this post by JGV Ape. So we've seen one of his posts before in this channel as we've been documenting CLOV. He also is a DD Hall of Famer on the CLOV Reddit page. So I want to read this to you guys. I'll also have a link in the description, so if you don't want to listen to me and what I think about it, you can just skip ahead and read it on your own time. But some people like to hear the sound of my beautiful voice reading to them. So he posts, I still firmly believe CLOV is shorted 200 million, specifically after the SS volume beginning July 6th to yesterday, over 266 million just in that time frame. So he says, CLOV is not what you consider a normal behaving stock. It is being strategically attacked and manipulated by short selling via standard borrowing shorts, naked shorts, synthetic shorts, you name it. And as we've been documenting in our CLOV journey, that is definitely the case. You can even tell by looking at the price action from Thursday. It's extremely robotic. Now, he also says, when you look at this data, think about the following. There's no insiders that are selling. there are more institutional buying, continued retail support, probably more so than ever at these discounted prices. Many experienced AMC and GME or learned from the DD to hold and not be persuaded by the FUD. It appears that there are many out there who have been holding since before the first run up on June 8th, held all the way up and held all the way down. Wow, if you're any of those people, comment down below if you're an original CLOV holder. That's awesome. As a hyper-growth company, CLOV hit and executed the revenue expectations, which is what you want to see in a hyper-growth company. Yes, that is very true. I also posted a recap video about CLOV's earnings, so definitely go check that out. It has all of the key catalysts that are coming up, and it definitely just talks about what to expect and what else to look for. With expansion and growth comes expenses, which is expected. That's probably why they missed their EPS. The minute there are any type of buying volume or momentum, they immediately drop short shares to counter it. We've seen that time after time, especially during the first 10 to 15 minutes of the market open. It always has the same open. It's very sketchy. Remember this word, anticipation. They are anticipating insiders, institutional and retail, to sell, and I, for one, believe they are front-loading their shorts in hopes of this happening. Now let's get into the data. Again, look for behavior. Remember the word anticipation. The below data shows you that the volume of shorted shares, 266 million, since July 6th to yesterday in the light blue, along with the shorted average price of the volume of shorted shares. So think of the events. Perception. What did they try to do? July 6th, July 2020. Why did I call July 22nd, July 2020? And then August 12th. Then he has a image to the data here, but it's kind of blurry. Oh, there we go. So January shares, average price he has listed here, which was about 14. Shorted shares, about 142 million. The price being 11.97. But he has circled over here 266.8 million. Since January, they have in volume shorted 1.8 billion shares, just in FINRA and CBOE data. And he has a link here as well that shows 1.8 billion shorted year total. If you look at that month of August below the price action, think of all those times CLOV had the right buying power / volume and momentum. So here it shows all of the markets for FINRA and CBOE, all the shorted prices, shorted shares, and average price of that. Lastly, this is my own theory, and I call this a recovery / success rate, meaning after all of the BS activity, do you believe that they have been successful 90% of the time with their shorts and coming out with virtually no impact to them? If this was the case, then we wouldn't have seen June 8th run-up. That is correct. Again, if you think about insiders, institutions, and retail holding. True. Now, there appear to be questions about the free float being 200 million. If they want you to believe the free float is 200 million, why would they do that? Probably because they are 200 million in the hole with naked and synthetic shorts and anything else that you can think of. Naked phantom shorts don't get reported, but eventually they come out because everybody wants to get paid at one point or another. I believe from the data downloaded, the behavior, anticipation, the reaction to buying momentum, they are in a deep hole and they are doing an incredible job at hiding it. I 100% agree. Very interesting. I highly suggest you guys take a look at these comments as well. A lot of people are discussing back and forth on why they think all of this is happening. I just think it's really interesting. And the only reason I'm really reading this is just in case anybody hasn't had a chance to read this stuff or doesn't get exposure to this stuff or isn't on Reddit. Not everybody here is on Reddit. So definitely take a look over this. It's very, very interesting. All the numbers and data are there. Everything just points to this bad boy being one of the most manipulated stocks on the stock market today, in conjunction with AMC as well. AMC also has some crazy short interest and short data and manipulation going on. The stock price did surprisingly well today. When was the last Friday that we had green? I don't know. I don't remember. But I mean, how much lower could we go, right? So we opened up at around 760-ish, saw a 788 price top over here, and then it kind of just did its thing along with the market and closed around 775 or so. And we're currently sitting at 780 in the after hours. Our $10 call obviously expired worthless. I do not have exposure to next week or the week after, but September 17th, we do have that $17 call still. And that $17 call is currently down 32.5%. So that's only about a $6.50 loss. I'm not crying over that. We're going to hold that into expiration, or if it just shoots up crazy, that's fantastic. But I pretty much bought that $17 call because this options chain was not reflecting what the other week's options chains are. So for example, this week it went all the way up to 43. Next week it only goes up to 17. Same with September 3rd. Same with September 10th. And same with September 17th. So we bought the furthest out of the money call that you could, and we're just going to hold it and see what happens. Since we are down 27.88% on this bad boy, I really want to start collecting premium to lower our cost basis. Now, there's multiple ways of doing that. We can sell a put and we can sell calls. Since we own 309 shares, we can sell up to 3 calls, 3 call contracts, because each call is representative of 100 shares. Now, if I wanted to sell the $9 call for next week, that means I hope CLOV doesn't go to $9, because that would mean I need to sell my shares at $9. Typically, if you want a win-win scenario, you only sell calls above your cost basis. My cost basis is $10.78. So if I sell the $11 call, I can collect $5 in premium. And worst case, if CLOV by the end of next week is at $11, then it sells, it gets exercised, and my 100 shares gets sold at $11. Remember, I bought it at $10.78. So I still win and I still collect that premium. Now, the reason why I haven't sold calls yet is because the call premium is super, super cheap. Now, I could sell the Septembers, but that opens up some more risk for me, because what if CLOV starts going up a lot? I could sell the 17s. I could go to October and sell the 16s. I don't know. I don't want to keep getting further and further dated calls. I don't want to sell further dated calls, because what if I need to roll over? So I'm just thinking out loud here. I know some people like to think of or talk about different strategies on how to get profitable on something like this. Instead of selling calls, what I might do is I might just start selling puts. I talked about this in my last video. I wanted to see if I should do it today. I was assuming today would have been a red day, but we're actually up 2.5%. So it kind of killed the put premium for me. But depending on how we open up Monday or Tuesday, I want to start selling maybe the 7s or the 7.5s. Worst case, I get exercised and it just lowers my cost basis, and I would have wanted to buy 100 shares anyways. So worst case, I get exercised. Best case, I walk away with that premium. So stay tuned. Let's see how it plays out. If you have any questions about any of this stuff, please let me know. I get back to every single comment. I love you. Don't forget to subscribe. Smash that like button, just because I wanted to sound like every other YouTuber. And most importantly, have a great weekend. I love you.